Hello guys, Nightspectre here, bringing you some more gameplay footage, this time around me being Nidalee on top. Now this video is going to be a little bit different than normal, because I am recording this in post. So I've already played this game, and the sound is actually a little bit, well, let's say corrupted. I was on TeamSpeak, so the sound of everyone in the TeamSpeak chat was all over the place, and bad headsets and all that good stuff, so the quality of the sound was a little bit down. So I thought, hey, why not make a shorter video in which I just commentate on what I do, and then when there's downtime I'll just skip through the rest and I'll explain my thoughts and maybe give some more in-depth analysis of what I do, but it'll be a lot shorter, so you could consider this as a guide. We'll see. So I started off because I'm going top with Nidalee. I started off, of course, with the bushwhacks. If you aren't a support Nidalee, but even as support Nidalee, it's wise to go for the bushwhack first. But bushwhacks give you early jungle control, and with the recent ward changes, it's actually a little bit better. Of course, they had to nerf it, because you had a lot of vision. Now, I am going for a deep ward at their red. You can only do this if you are certain that they aren't defending it. I don't know whether or not they're in that bush. But considering they weren't defending the front side bush, I thought, well, then they're not going to defend their red at all. They'll all be at blue. As you can see on the minimap, they're all there. Then afterwards, I am of course going to bushwhack the blue so that it will have reduced armor and, well, magic resistance, not that it matters for Olaf. And I'll assist him in doing the blue, making it so that he can do his jungle a lot faster. So Nasus has walked over my trap, as you could have seen. So, because of that, I know, of course, that I'm facing a Nasus. I could have known before if I just would have checked the team, which I did. So I wasn't really afraid of Nasus because I know that he can't kill me. The thing is, especially an ability power Nidalee, if you go attack damage, then you can harass Nasus by just auto-attacking him over and over again. Which might mean that it might be a better idea as an AP Nidalee if you go top to go for the attack damage marks, just because it will give you some early harass against Nasus, because you don't want him to farm. But then again, as long as I just can farm and loss it properly, not that I will do this in this video, who knows. I did loss it quite good, to say the least. Just loss it, there's nothing you can do really. Just keep your bushwhacks at the perfect place. If you're not fighting in Nasus, your bushwhacks are actually pretty important, especially if you have champions with a gap closer. So whenever they're going to jump onto you, just place your bushwhack underneath your feet and he will get hit by the bushwhack, and that will decrease his armor and it will do some damage as well. So you can do a lot more damage onto him and equally trade. The thing with Nidalee, what you want to do is become level 6 before your opponent. Now, I am leveling my takedown / javelin toss first, just because I want to do as much damage as possible, but Nasus, as you can see, is trying to force me out of lane. I'm not willing though, I still have enough health potions. Thing is, I did start off with the Doran's Ring because I was cocky and thought that Nasus couldn't kill me, which is true, but most of the time you are going to have to run a cloth armor or anything like that, just to increase your regeneration and all that, and, well, gain extra armor, because it will be important. Unless, of course, you are fighting an AP top, then, well, I guess a Doran's Ring should be fine. Maybe boots, just considering, because they might try to nuke you down from afar. But then again, you're in Nidalee, you can do the same. So, Nasus is now level 6. I am going to try and bait out his ultimate. So in that case that he can't surprise me. He even ignited me here, so just walk away. As a Nidalee, you don't need to fight. You are a weak champion. You're very glass cannon, much so. So his ult is now down, so I can just go for the takedown, ignite him, and then run away again. Olaf there with the assist, so great for him. At least he got an assist out of it, so that was an easy kill. So as a Nidalee, especially against bruiser champs, just hit and run. It's basically that. You now have 3 bushes on top, making it easier for you to hit and run. You can pounce from one bush to another, making for easy plays or fun plays. A good strategy, especially when you are top from the blue side of the map, you can put a pink ward into your bush, because you mostly have control over the half of the top area where the bush is placed. So you can just go for it. As you can see, now I'll place a bushwalk in the back, making it sure that he walks on it, so now he's extra squishy. So I could just go kitty form and bash him, but I'm a little bit scared, because, well, he's a big Nasus. He can just wither me and then attack me again, and as you can see, those siphoning strikes are starting to hurt. That's my bad though, I didn't want to go for armor, because I'm a little bit crazy. But if I would have gone for armor, I would have been able to trade maybe a little bit better, but as I said before, well, I actually haven't, but if you want to go for the mid game as a Nidalee, which is what you want to do, you actually don't have to think about itemizing for your top champion. That only means that you want to go farm there and try to fight it out with him. I actually have no interest in fighting Nasus near the mid game because I can't win. I know that for a fact. Unless I throw some cheeky spears and he makes mistakes, I should not be able to get a kill onto him, for he can just wither me and then just slow me down. He's now trying to destroy my ward there. Of course, I said if you have control, it's easy to do. I didn't, so I kind of ballsed it up there. So Nasus is now just farming about, and I'm going to lose it again. But I think around this time that I will get a kill onto him, and this is because of cocky play by Nasus. Not too sure why he'll do it, but he did. So he's going to wither me down, almost kill me, and then I just walk away again. As in Nidalee, there's no shame in running away. Also, trying to farm with your javelin toss from range is quite smart because, well, it's safer, and javelin toss, the mana cost is not that big. You can throw down spears a whole lot of times and not get out of mana. It is a downside, of course, that if you are on top with an AP Nidalee, that you will not get the blue buff, normally, unless you have like a Katarina in the middle or something. But normally you will not get blue. And that might be bad, especially if you're blue side, but if you are purple side, it's actually a wiser choice to just ward the enemy's blue, because it's the blue buff near the top lane, and try to steal it with your javelin every time they're going for it. So Nasus made a bit mistake there, walking into the turret just earlier on, and well, it makes for an easy kill again. People ignore the damage that a takedown is able to do even when you're AP. The damage gets increased the lower the enemy's HP is, so it doesn't really matter if you build up attack damage, it'll still do damage. Trust me, if you're AD Nidalee, the damage is insane, but hello, so is Swipe. Once it's leveled, of course I am leveling my takedown slash javelin toss first, because to be honest I hate the mana costs of the, well, the primal surge. It's a lot, let me put it that way, especially if you level it first. If you're AD Nidalee, you'll have to level it first because it's your prime source of damage. But other than that, the attack speed I mean, of course. So of course, I won't get blue, so I go for a Tear of the Goddess. It's just an easy way to get mana. On Nidalee, it's easy to upgrade as well. You just pounce around, swipe, take down. It doesn't cost anything in kitty form. And then afterwards I will go for the Seeker's Arm Guard, buying some armor just to be able to fight Nasus a little bit better. So here's an example of top Nidalee using the brushes in her advantage. You do get a movement speed bonus whenever you use it. It also makes it so that the enemy cannot see when you're going to cast your javelin toss. So it is technically a little bit easier to cast your spears, though keep in mind that the enemy will probably stand behind his minions at all time. Oh hi Evelyn! And try to, well, stand behind minions so it'll block your spear. Evelyn going a little bit too deep there, will probably die. Olaf trying to pass the Nasus though, oh no. Nasus will get a kill, flashing forward, getting the kill, easy enough, pouncing over a wall. Which reminds me, you can pounce through new walls now since the preseason. I'll show it after this video, just remind me, I'll remind myself. So Nasus has a double buff, which is cool, and he is going to beat the living hell out of me. He walks over a trap though, but he is going to dive a little bit too deep. With a Nidalee with Primal Surge, you can of course bait your enemies into the turret range and then heal yourself, but that wasn't really that now, was it? Let's say it was. Yeah, it was very pro plays by me, and you saw it. Trust me, you saw nothing out of the ordinary. He played perfectly. So now that I have a blue buff, I am going to show some dominance in the other lanes, because Quite frankly, my lane is being pushed right now. Dragon has still not been slain and we've been playing for 15 minutes, so I thought, hey, let's go and put some pressure on the map, shall we? And we shall. So I'm now here at the dragon, trying to give some extra vision by putting bushwhacks down. You can also put it underneath the dragon, though I don't think it used to be the case that armor reduction worked on dragon, but not anymore. There is an Evelyn, of course. I'm trying to zone her away, but it does make it so that Olaf is taking increasing amounts of damage from the dragon, so not really always the smartest thing to do, but at the very least he didn't smite steal it, which Evelyns are very good at. Now Anivia is going to dodge a spear, because she see me coming. She was just slightly out of range, but keep in mind I have a red buff and I'm a Nidalee, so I'm ranged, so I can slow her down. And when she's slowed down, it's far easier to hit a spear. Red buffs is actually... Nidalee is one of the champions that gets the most out of a red buff. Because red buff on a ranged champion, the slow isn't as big as on a melee champion, but Nidalee is both. You could say the same of Jace, of course, and even Elise, but... with Nidalee it's much more fun, because it's so easy to hit your skill shots then. Yeah, you better run, you speedy dog. Walk over my trap, walk over my trap, walk over my trap. He walked over the trap, so I am slowing him down now with the red buff, just that, nothing more. And then, of course, my jungler can finish him off then. The buff that I gave him with the bushwhack will make it so that we could see him in the bushes. And, well, Olaf needs to run away. He is, of course, very strong when he has his ult up, but hey, takedown will take care of that. You silly dog, you. I'm a cat. So cat versus dogs, the winner for now, cat. Oh my, that could have killed a cat, that rocket over there. That could have killed a cat. So time to go back and buy a needlessly large rod just to increase my damage. Actually, I have enough for the hourglass, so that's fine. So a team fight is erupting on the bottom lane, and because I went shopping, I thought, hey, I might just check it out, who knows what happens. Well, I don't know, but you never know. As I said before, with Nidalee, your prime of the game is during the mid game, because you can do a lot of damage with your javelin toss, and they don't have the magic to fight it. So look at Nivea, she's almost dead because of it. We forced her out of lane, so let's take objectives. Towers are very important to take in this game. Because, well, it is the only thing that prevents you from getting to the Nexus, which is, of course, the entire goal of the game. Anivia, however, wants to defend, and, well, that's what you get. Don't get me wrong, Anivias are very good at defending towers. Her ultimate and Flash Frost is most likely enough to clear an entire wave, making it very hard for us to get the turrets. But don't get cocky. Don't get cocky, Anivia. Just come kiddie. So Nasus is here. I thought he didn't have his ultimate. This was not the case, so my ignite was not that useless. Well, useful. Then again, the lifesteal that he gets from his ultimate does get negated, so it was worth it in the end. And a quick kill for the Teemo. It's not even Tuesday. So we get another tower out of it. Nasus decided to help out from the top lane, because I was putting pressure down in the middle and his teammates were like, hey, this Nidalee is wrecking us. Please help us. Normally Nasus want to farm. We're not giving him the chance. Anivia not taking that much damage thanks to the changes of Nidalee's spear. I will have to say it has some advantages, but it also has some disadvantages. So they kinda nerfed Nidalee's javelin a little bit, because the initial damage that it does has been reduced. So the closer by you are standing to a Nidalee, your spear will barely do any damage to it. But because of that, they also changed the way that the spear works by the range comparison. So it used to be the case that whenever you threw a spear, the minute your spear landed on the enemy, that moment the range between you and the enemy got, well, calculated, and then they would decide how much damage your spear would do. So I see Evelyn here trying to steal red. It's always smart to place a bushwalk near red. They always tend to walk near the bush. So if you ward the brush or put a javelin there, you can prevent the jungler from taking red, as you could see. I hit her straight in the face. I decided to place another bushwhack there because I see Nasus with my ward, and I thought, maybe I'm able to steal it. And why not? Contesting for a buff is always a good thing. They haul a lot of experience, they give quite a bit of money, and more importantly, it's a buff. And a strong one at that, so it'll annoy your enemies. Though this Nasus knows how he's playing and he actually blocks my spear. So it's a pity. Yeah, I would have gotten it elsewhere. But because it's the red buff and not the blue buff, I really don't care. So we're now 21 minutes and a few seconds into the game. I spotted Evelyn in the jungle, so I thought, hey, let's throw a blind javelin and see what happens. And I accidentally hit her. However, I did miss her in the end, so it's a pity I overestimated her spear by a lot there. She would have just passed it, I don't know. But the thing is that right afterwards I noticed that bottom lane is having issues, so because I'm in position I thought, hey, why not? Nasus isn't even top anymore as well, so I am no longer obliged to remain top. I am in the prime of my life, I'm pretty fat, so why not force my dominance into the other lane? So we have someone getting very cocky there, even though I get spotted by the minions when I throw my spear. She was window shopping already. Leona trying to catch me with her Zenith Blade, but I'm no longer there. Bushwhack's giving me all the vision I need, even though that's probably a Caitlyn trap we're seeing here. I do spot the Nasus from above, so I'm trying to position myself into a way safer position, which I do. Positioning is very important as in Nidalee, because in teamfights the only thing you can do is throw a spear and heal your ally. If you're fat, of course, you can go kitty form way earlier, but you can only do kitty form if you are certain that it will kill your enemy and that you won't get caught into any crowd control or damage by the enemy, or else you'll just pounce into death. So keep it in mind. And chasing an Anivia, harder than it seems. A lot harder than it seems. Of course, being dominant in other lanes means that there could be some split pushing happening by the enemy team, but just buy home guard and you'll be able to take care of it. Like that. Easy enough, right? And maybe if you're lucky you'll get a blue. Maybe next time. Now, being a support player myself and being a Nidalee who is able to do some supporting, you might want to think I need to save my allies, but sometimes you just can't, so run away, use the thin walls into your advantage, and keep in mind that your kitty form can do damage, and that people can flash, but they'll die in the end, never mind. So, keep good positioning onto your allies and your enemies, I could say. And throw spears, because you're a Nidalee. Try to go for poke, try to push lanes at all times, and disengage fights whenever it's necessary, only when it's necessary. Oh, and try to remember that if you buy an hourglass, to use it. Because I always forget the first time. Just do this. Whenever you buy the item, say to yourself, you have the item, use it. Because I never do. But when I do, I remember it. Not that I ever do it. So here's a good example of a team fight with Nidalee. The Olaf gets caught a little bit by the Nasus there, and now my Caitlyn gets caught. But I must keep my positioning at all times. So I see Nasus getting caught by the roots, so I thought, yeah, I can pounce, take down, and then run away. There's now a Jinx behind me, so I need to take care of her as well. Maybe I'll hit her with a spear. That was a weird spear, to be honest. Now it's Leona. I put a trap underneath Leona. That actually hurts her quite a bit, so if you get tanks, try to put a trap underneath them, because it will kill them quite quickly. And then of course go for the squishy. As I said before, kitty form, even if your ability power, it does a lot of damage. The pounce and then swipe, takedown combination is really well. And that will make it so that we can now go for a quick Baron, because we pretty much aced their team. So Baron does give you a little bit of mana regeneration as well, which is of course very great on a Nidalee. Too bad the Evelyn stole our blue. Well, what can you do? She will die because of it. So now our Zyra has blue. Whoop-de-doo. So again, the enemy team is pushing down our middle lane, and we're thinking, why are they doing this? Let's poke them down and punish them. We have a Caitlyn, we have Teemo Shrooms for the disengage, we're perfectly fine. As long as we push the middle with our Baron buff, we should win every fight. Will we? I don't know, let's see. I am no longer going to edit this video down, we are going to commentate like there is no tomorrow. I see a Jinx. Can I throw a javelin onto her? I don't think I can, because she's too far off and there's a lot of fog of war. You also need to keep into consideration that there are invisible flash frosts apparently, and that Evelyn can come from the sides at all time. If you are stacked up onto each other and she is able to use her Agony's Embrace, you all get slowed, making it easier for Leona to hit her ult, and then of course Anivia's ult on top of that, and that's just bad. I did force Anivia away with a spear though, so that was fun. Trying to throw a spear onto the Jinx, making it a lot more easier for us to get that tower. If we get this inhib, I think we might get this game. But Anivia is now back with a blue buff, and she has warded over the ridge, which you might be able to jump over with kitty form, but I'll show you after this video. So Anivia again got hit by a spear, forcing her out of lane again, and Anivia is the primal pusher for their team, so if she is down we can take the tower easily. I can of course give attack speed to my AD carry. I'm not going to, because the tower fell so quickly it wasn't even worth my time. I will now do it, but now the inhibitor is even down, so it's even less of a point. So we've noticed that top is pushing, so we're going for it, but 3 teammates get caught. We'll all bundle together, bundle our forces, and then get hit by a solar flare to say a may, which is Dutch for ho ho ho. I don't know, but here we go. All get caught, I get scared, pot Evelyn, go immediately into my hourglass. For once I thought, nope, I'm not feeling it, so I didn't get hit by any of the AoE to be honest, but well, I didn't do that much damage as well. Then again, the primal sources of damage were dead either way, so I'm just going to push this tower with my team for today and say goodbye, GG, well played ladies and gentlemen. So that is how I topped Nidalee. I hope you had something of worth with it, and before we go, let's show you the little small changes that the preseason give to your pounds. Let's go over to that, shall we? So I'm now going to show you how to jump over the wall on either blue side or purple side, though I must say blue side is really hard to do. I do manage to do it at some gaps, but you will actually need to try it out if you can do it by yourself, because personally I found that the blue side is a little bit too hard to jump over with pounds. It is doable at some points, but it's way too unreliable to actually use in combat. So only if you are really at the position where you have to use it. As you can see now, I can't do it again even though I've done it before. I'd say just flash over the wall, it might save your life, or just go around it if you really don't have to jump over this wall, because it's really hard. Purple side, however, is a little bit easier, so let's go over to that then, shall we? So we are now on blue team's side of the map, so this base, the walls on top are a lot easier to jump on. It takes a little bit of practice, but if you go in between the trees, you should be able to jump over it, and even from the outside of the map, you are able to jump to the inside. So I must say this is a way more viable means of escape. You don't have to use your flash anymore if you get caught inside of the enemy base. You can just jump it. Do make sure that you're positioning your face in the perfect order, or else you will get stuck, as you can see here. But there are places you can jump through. Just think about it, in between the bushes, and you'll be able to jump over it like this. So that's easy enough. Here you can see me getting caught. No! Easy escape. They won't be able to follow me. Well, they know they could, of course. It could always happen. Now on the bottom side it is a little bit harder. Maybe it's because of the way that it all looks, because it's more like positioned outwards, but you can still do it. So I must say it's really easier to do on the purple side of the map instead of the blue side of the map. Then again, as you can see, it's still maybe possible that you will not get over it if you get attacked by a Shyvana bot. But here we go, able to escape a Shyvana and a Soraka. So hope you learned something from this. I'm now getting caught by some little scrub bots, so I'll be fine, really. Bye-bye. They do have better AI now, because Soraka is still looking for me. Oh, you found me, and now you've lost me. Let's go kill her. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. I just killed a goat. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.